there, and that's the reason why this Tuskegee experiment of such that's happened to the black community, where they took the fathers out of the home and the leaders out of the community and have torn apart the community. Now they've seen that's worked.
Let's go back a little and remember the Tuskegee experiment, a dark chapter in American history where the very fabric of black communities was torn apart by systemic tactics that removed fathers from homes and leaders from communities. What if everything you thought you knew about Kanye West and Bianca's marriage was incorrect? What if the entire story was a masterstroke of manipulation, strategy, and control? From the outside, their marriage seemed strange, confusing, and even doomed from the beginning, but what if Bianca wasn't the victim here? Enter Kanye West. After all of his inflammatory remarks and his collapsing empire, you would think that he would finally be humbled. But instead, he doubled down on control and seems to have ensnared someone else in his web of deception. Bianca Censori, let's take a moment to discuss Bianca. For months, the world watched as Kanye West appeared to control their marriage. He allegedly imposed rules on her, such as the requirement that she wear clothes he chose for her and that she could not speak in public without his consent. It appeared as though Bianca was just another pawn in Kanye's game, but what if everything we've seen was actually a part of a larger scheme? Bianca recently filed for divorce, demanding half of Kanye's $400 million fortune. They believed Bianca was trapped, manipulated, and silenced the entire time. But it turns out that she may have been quietly working on her own plan the entire time. Now consider this: Kanye West, the same man who publicly mocked Kim Kardashian for being a single mother with multiple divorces, is facing his second divorce in less than 4 years. At least Kim didn't go after his money. She had her own empire. But this time Kanye is in serious trouble. It appears that Bianca had been secretly planning for the largest payout of her life, and Kanye is going to pay a hefty price for his mistakes. From the moment Kanye married Bianca, the world was shocked and everyone wondered how their relationship could be real. One minute, he was showing off his love for Kim Kardashian, and the next minute, he was married to a woman no one knew he was seeing. The entire situation seemed hurried and unexpected. Some thought it was a publicity stunt, while others thought it was a rebound. However, Bianca and Kanye kept the world guessing as time went on, and the more people questioned their marriage, the more they tried to figure out why it didn't make sense. Now we can see why the turning point came when Kanye's empire began to fall apart due to his controversial remarks, which caused his billionaire status to vanish almost instantly. Major pulled out his endorsements, and in the midst of this chaos, Kanye did the unthinkable. He married Bianca Censori in total secrecy. The wedding was extremely secretive, but what was even stranger was that nobody, not even Bianca's family or Kanye's closest friends, knew about their relationship. It was a complete blindside, leaving everyone, including the Kardashians, wondering if this was love or a diversion from Kanye's failing reputation. Kanye didn't. Just don't tell the Kardashians about this. He didn't notify Bianca's family either, and they learned about it the same way the rest of the world did when pictures of Bianca and Kanye started making the rounds online. At this point, it wasn't simply a privacy issue, it was a whole new level of secret. Bianca's cooperation with Kanye, who has never shied away from placing his life in front of cameras, generated more concerns than it did answers. Kanye had suddenly become an expert at keeping things under covers. Despite the secrecy, insiders started to paint a different picture, claiming that Bianca and Kanye had a perfect relationship in which Bianca was managing Kanye's schedule and overseeing his business affairs. However, something didn't sit right. If everything was really perfect, why were there so many rumors about Kanye controlling every aspect of Bianca's life? Bianca being manipulated or willingly playing the game. Her wardrobe had drastically changed from her own distinctive style to something more mainstream, and many observed that she was no longer the same person she once was. Friends who resembled Kanye began to voice their opinions, claiming that she had cut herself apart from everyone she used to know and no longer appeared to was Bianca still the self-assured, vocal person she had been before, or had she changed into just what Kanye wanted her to be? The true turning point occurred during the Grammy Awards. The whole situation felt extremely unsettling. It wasn't just about control. Bianca was made to walk the red carpet nearly nude, dressed like a trophy by Kanye, and to make things worse, she wasn't even permitted to attend the event. Later, on Twitter, Kanye boasted about his dominance over her, claiming that he had control over his wife and that she could only do things with his permission. It has to do with ownership. In addition to bragging about his power, Kanye demonstrated to the world that Bianca was now his property. And this is when things take a negative turn. Leo, Bianca's father, was not amused and confronted Kanye about treating his daughter like a marketable commodity. He wanted to know why Kanye was pushing his wife to look this way and, more significantly, why he was keeping her away from her own family. Any father would be incensed to see his daughter degraded in such a way, but there's a twist that goes even further. Since Bianca and Kanye never signed a prenuptial agreement, she is entitled to half of his fortune, or $200 million, simply for divorcing him. As more information becomes available, it becomes evident that Bianca was always playing the long game. She was never the pawn, she was the queen. Now that she is ready to make her move, fans and insiders are weighing in, and the reactions are as intense as you might expect. Fans have been talking about how Kanye's behavior toward Bianca reflects some of the toxic patterns seen in past relationships, but they are also wondering if Bianca is just playing the game smarter than we ever imagined. According to an insider, Bianca has been strategically keeping her cards close to her chest throughout the entire relationship and always knew what she was doing. One fan said, "It's crazy. While Kanye is stuck on checkers, Bianca is playing chess. I always thought she was just a pawn, but now I see she's been the queen," said another devotee. Social media is still awash with comments on how Kanye has this whole thing all out, with some fans accusing her of being a manipulator. What do you think? Was Bianca always in charge, or has Kanye's drive for dominance finally caught up with him? Some people fear that Bianca's abrupt change in behavior indicates something deeper. Leave a comment below with your ideas, and check VP Watch for additional developments on this crazy tale.